It's a major update! Lovelies, it's me again. So I just wanted to come up here and do my labor and delivery story or birthing story. Also, I'm going to apologize if you hear any crying in the background because Jay is actually changing Nathan's diaper and getting him into his jammies, and he does not like to be changed. So if you hear crying, I apologize. So I'm just gonna start from the very beginning, and I really hope I don't forget anything. I don't have anything written down. I'm just gonna wing it. So as those of you who know, my due date was June 29th, which was actually going to be an induction date of June 22nd, which is today. I was actually supposed to be induced today. So as you guys saw in my other video, I was going to my OB appointment. That actually went well. They didn't do a membrane sweep. They said that it wasn't needed. Even though I was already 3 centimeters dilated, they said that they don't want to do it at 37 weeks because of potential dangers and blah, 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 blah. Even though everyone in my baby group has gotten a membrane sweep at 36, and I was like, whatever. Basically, for me, I was trying to tell them, you guys are going to induce me anyway. I'm not going into labor naturally, so why not just go ahead and do a membrane sweep and try to get this ball rolling on its own so I don't have to be induced. But whatever, they didn't want to do it. After that appointment, I had to go see my specialist, which is maternal fetal, and I did the ultrasound. It was so cute, and I got a ton of pictures, right? So after you do maternal fetal, they usually have you speak with a specialist afterwards. And so I was speaking with a specialist, and she was like, I have concerns. I said, and what are your concerns? Because as far as I knew, everything was fine. So she said, your numbers are way too high in your lab results. I had labs done a week before, and they called me back the day after, said my labs are perfectly fine and to go to my appointments as normal. So I didn't think nothing of it. So when she said that she found something in my labs, I was confused because I was like, someone called me and said, yeah, we got your labs, but they're perfectly fine. So I was really confused at this point. So I was like, what am I supposed to do now? I said, what are my labs? I was like, what, was it my blood pressure? She was like, no. She was like, your kidney levels. So apparently my kidney levels were extremely high, and no one bothered to tell me. And she was like, they were too high for me to be comfortable with you going home. She was like, I wanted you to go to triage of L&D. I was like, oh my God, for what? She was like, well, they can do your blood work there and it'll be faster. Because if I have you wait to do it at the lab, I won't get it for 2 to 3 days. She's like, and I need to know now. Because as you guys know, my doctor's office is an hour and a half away from home. So she wanted me to find out what was going on before I even go back home. Because if my levels were bad, she was like, you're not leaving Wilmington. She was like, you're going to stay here and you are having this baby. I was like, oh my God. Excuse me. I was like, it's really that serious. So she sends us over to L&D, which is right across the road, and we go up, and I tell them, I was like, look, I'm just here to do blood work. I was like, she didn't like how my blood work was. She said it's faster here, so that's why I'm here. And so she goes, okay, and she takes us into the back. Usually triage is this way, which is where we usually go. She had us going this way, which is L&D. Oh, I've never been over there. So I was like, why are we going over here? And she was like, oh, no, don't worry. We just don't have any beds available for triage. So you're just going to come over here. We were like, okay. So we walk into the room, obviously, because it's for birthing. You see, you know, the baby warmer. You see the giant bed. It's intimidating because you're like, oh my God, I'm just supposed to be here for blood work. You know, what the hell is going on? So I sit on the bed and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. 5 minutes later, he's getting lotion on him. He hates lotion on him because it's cold. It's chilly. So we're sitting in the room, me and JR, and we're just talking. And the lady comes in. She's like, okay, so I just talked to the boss that's on the floor. So apparently there's like a guy that's in charge of L&D. He's like the head boss, head honcho. And she's like, and I explained to him your story and told him what your specialist had said. And he said that if your numbers are that bad and you're far in this pregnancy, we should just keep you. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you're being admitted. She was like, the paperwork is in the works as we speak. She's like, you're not leaving. She's like, you're being admitted. We are starting the induction immediately. And my jaw dropped. I was in tears. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was not expecting that. So I called my mom because she has my daughter. And I was like, so thank God I left the car seat with you because they're keeping me. And she was like, what? And I explained to her the situation. She was like, what the hell were your numbers? Like, what are they? Like, why are they keeping you? Like, my mom was like freaking out because she thought that they were just doing it because it was easier. But I actually did find out what my numbers were, and they were very, very high. And for those of you who don't know, if you have high kidney numbers when it comes to your blood work, that can also be a trigger of preeclampsia. It's hiding in your kidneys. And they didn't want it to get worse, so they were like, we're just going to go ahead and keep you and induce you. You're already 3 centimeters. This shouldn't be bad. So they started me on some fluids at first. It took a fucking hour for them to get me my IVs. I had 2 IVs, one in my left hand, one in my right hand. I was very dehydrated apparently, and I was drinking a ton of water, but it's hot in North Carolina. So I was dehydrated, so they couldn't get any blood out of me for 2 hours. So I started bruising immediately. I still have a small bruise on my arm, which I won't show you guys because it's nasty. But I was just bruising everywhere. And I'm anemic, which I actually found out after I had my son. So they started me up on the fluids, and they were like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start you on Pitocin. I was actually expecting like a pill or something because that's what I have with my daughter. But they were like, no, because you're already 3 centimeters, you're already 50% ephased, your body's already trying to do something, so we're just going to start you on Pitocin and go from there. Oh, so cute. And I was like, okay. So they started me on Pitocin at 6 p.m. on the dot. I started me at 2. And then they kept it going until I got into a 6. And then once I got to level 6, they turned it off because they were going to do the Cervidil, or I think it's Cervidil, the pills. She was like, okay, you're still 3 centimeters dilated, you're not changing, so we should try to do the pill. And I was like, don't really want to do the fucking pill, but I guess whatever. So she leaves, comes back an hour later, and she goes, actually, my boss doesn't want to do the pill, so we're just going to keep you on Pitocin. I was like, okay. And anyone that has Pitocin and it gets shut off, you have to start right back at the beginning. So they had to start me back at level 2 again, and then every 30 minutes she bumped it up. So around midnight-ish, I started having a little bit of anxiety. I started having a little bit of PTSD from my previous labor and delivery. And I was like, oh my God, this baby's coming. The pain is coming. You know, the traumatic experience of what I have with my daughter hopefully doesn't come with it. Like, I started freaking out. And I was like, I really need something to calm my nerves. I really need something to help me relax. So they gave me a small dose of Stadol, which doesn't take pain away. It's not really a pain reliever. It just relaxes you. So they're like, here, just use this to get you some rest. You need some rest. So I was like, okay. They gave me some Stadol, and I took a nap. I was talking a bunch of nonsense. I was talking stupid. I don't remember half the crap I said, but my mom was making fun of me when I woke up. And baby's heart rate was doing good. I was doing good. And then I was out. Now, because of my high blood pressure, I'm on labetalol, 100 milligrams twice a day. So in the hospital, they were giving me just that, but they forgot to give me my night pill. So I'm sleeping and everything, and I hear a lady come in. I may have been half groggy, but I was listening to what people were saying. So she comes over to my side of the bed, and she has this needle in her hand, and I was like, what is that? She was like, it's liquid labetalol. I'm going to give it to you in your IV. And I was like, okay. I've never heard of that, right? So I'm just laying there, and I'm laying there, and then 30 minutes later, my blood pressure cuff goes off, and my blood pressure is freaking high. High as crap. I've never had it that high. It was 192 over 76, I think. It was extremely bad, right? And so they're freaking out, and they're like, oh my God, your blood pressure's high, no more Stadol. what? And then I was like, what was that crap you gave me? That was not my normal medicine. I was like, I need my labetalol, the pill. So they gave me my labetalol, the right kind, and I didn't have an episode like that again. So I don't know what the fuck she gave me, but it messed me up. And because of that, they didn't let me have Stadol again. Because you can get Stadol twice. I wanted it in the beginning just to help me relax, and then I wanted it whenever I knew I was going to be pushing soon, so that my body would be relaxed and that I would be okay. Because y'all know I can't have the epidural because last time it messed up my back. And I already told them no epidural, but they kept bringing it up, all right? Which I will get to that. So about 5 o'clock rolls around, and they're like, okay, we're going to break your water. I was like, okay. I was 5 centimeters dilated, I want to say, and was still about 75% E phase. So I hadn't really changed all that much. My cervix was all the way in the back, so they couldn't use the button hook to pop it. She had to put on what I called a finger prick condom. That's what it looked like. It looked like a little condom that goes in your finger with a little thumbtack on it. And she's having to shove her finger all the way up because that's where my cervix is. And I wanted to punch her in the jaw. It hurt so bad, and I had tears coming down my face. It was so painful. It took her almost 45 minutes to pop my water because she couldn't reach it, and she had to keep starting over. And I was just in tears. Like, it hurt so bad. So when she finally popped it, you know, I was just like, oh, thank God. Like, get the fuck out of me, you know? And so my water popped, and so I'm just sitting there. Contractions are starting to pick up. I am now on level 20 of Pitocin with no meds, no nothing. I feel everything. So I asked, since I'm not 8 centimeters, because that's also the guidelines. You can't get Stadol past 8 centimeters because at that point it's too late, baby's coming, and you'll be too blah, 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 blah. So I was like, you know what? I'm only 6 centimeters dilated. I want my epidural now. Or not my epidural, excuse me. I want my Stadol. I want my final dose of Stadol. She said, I don't think we can do that because of the episodes you had last night with your blood pressure, and baby's not showing active on our screen. Me and my mom were like, he never is. My kid, and when he was in my belly, he would sleep all day and he would be up all night. And that's actually how he is now. He's very nocturnal. I was like, so that's not fucking surprising that he's sleeping. I was like, he's like that when he's in my belly. Well, we can't give you Stadol because he hasn't been very active on the monitors. I was like, is his heart rate bad? She goes, no, his heart rate's perfect, but he's not very active. I was like, he's sleeping. This is usually his sleep time. What do you want from me? So they argued with me on that. And I was like, well, then give me a popsicle so I can wake his ass up so that y'all can get me my Stadol because y'all keep talking about the epidural so much and y'all are pissed I'm not doing it. So y'all are going to keep me away from my Stadol, and that's not fair. So the lady left and then came back 30 minutes later. I'm bouncing on the ball. I'm in so much pain now. I'm now in what we call transition phase, which is the final phase of labor. But it's the most painful phase, but it's the fastest. But it's the most painful because this is when your contractions are coming very fast, especially when you're on Pitocin. So I'm bouncing on the ball, but it hurts so bad because I feel him drifting further down into my tailbone, which he cracks, and I hear a loud pop. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. You know, I thought this was going to help, but I had to get off my ass. My ass hurts so bad. So I was like, I have to get off of it because I was feeling everything. Like, everything was in my back, lower back, and butt. So I'm like full on naked at this point because I just don't even give a shit. I climb into the hospital bed and I'm on all fours and I just want this pain to stop. I am crying. My mom left. She was only gone for like 10 minutes because she went to go get some coffee and she went to go, you know, smoke. And she came back inside and she's like, what the hell is going on? Because according to her, before she left, the nurse told her, okay, we're going to give you some popsicles to wake him up and we're going to give you some Stadol to help you relax. So my mom was like, okay, they're going to help you. They're going to give you your juju medicine and you're going to be fine. So she left and took a little break. But when she came back, all hell had broke loose. I was in so much pain and I was screaming. I was crying. Everyone probably fucking heard me. I was not quiet at all. I was in so much pain. They weren't giving me my Stadol. They kept telling me they couldn't. And I was pissed. I was so pissed. And they were like, but you can get the epidural though. And I was like, I don't want it. You guys know that. I was like, you guys forcefully are making me do a natural birth because you know I can't have the epidural. I was like, that's really not fair. And it was so painful. Like, I wouldn't wish natural birth on anybody. If you're into that kind of thing, you're into that kind of thing, but I wouldn't wish it on anybody because it was so painful. I will never do it again. To be honest with you, I will look into other IV meds that I could possibly have, but I will never do natural birth again because it was so painful. And the fact that it was forced on me is not okay. And I told them that, and so did my mom. My mom was a huge advocate for me when I was in labor. She was amazing. She was an amazing birthing coach. And I'm just crying. I'm in tears. My mom gets right in my face, and she's like, you know, I know how much pain you're in. She's like, but you are so strong. You got this. And she's like, lock eyes on me. And I'm crying because I'm like, I'm in so much pain, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, I can do this. You know, why am I acting like a little bitch? But it felt like everything was ripping inside of me. And they conned me into doing this because she had checked me and she's like, oh, you're 8 centimeters now, you definitely can't have Stadol. And my mom was like, she asked for it hours ago though. Like, she asked for it and you guys kept telling her, no, you have to wait, no, you have to wait. She was like, that's not fair. And my mom was getting ready to fight this damn doctor, first of all. And I was like, you know what, just fucking stop. I was like, this isn't okay right now. I was like, I'm upset, I'll worry about that later. I was like, I just want the pain to stop. And I was hyperventilating. They had to put me on oxygen because I couldn't breathe. I was hyperventilating. I thought I was dying. And all of a sudden, I just look at my mom and I had this blank stare on my face. She was like, what? What's wrong? And I said, the baby's coming. I was like, I feel his head. Here, let me see him. And I got him. Here we go. Hey, sunshine. And it's baby Nathan. I was like, this baby is coming. I was like, I feel him. And so my mom was like, okay. Now, mind you, I'm not in a birthing position. I have my ass up and I'm on my side like this looking at my mom. So the lady is combating me. She's like, there's no way, that baby is right there. I just checked you. You were only 8 centimeters and I just checked you 3 minutes ago. There is no way. I was like, lady, this baby is coming. So either you catch or I'm a catch. There's no way. There's no way. There's like 5 nurses and 1 doctor in this room. None of them have gloves on. None of them have masks. None of them are prepared. They're just staring at me, twiddling their thumbs like I'm a dumbass, like I don't know my own body. And this is my first rodeo. And they're just staring at me like, and I'm like, this baby's coming. So finally, I rotate my leg over so that they can see. And, wow, my glasses really show the TV. Yeah. Oh, baby boy, it's tilting on me. So I rotate my leg over. And all you see is a baby head. And the lady goes, oh, jeez, I need gloves. This baby is coming. I looked at her, I said, no shit. I've been saying that for the past 2 minutes. So she's trying to get herself situated. And she's like, okay, stop, don't push. I'm like, I'm not pushing. Every contraction was coming in about 15 to 20 seconds. They were coming on their own. And all I heard was a pop. My son flies out. She had to catch him. He flew out of me. I didn't even get a chance to push. He came on his own. And everything, amniotic fluid, blood, everything went on this lady. And serves you right. I fucking told you so. Maybe you'll listen next time. All over her. And I was just like, and so she tries to clean herself off real fast, and then she hands me Nathan and puts him on my chest. And he's crying, and then he, you know, soothes himself when he gets on mommy's chest. It's such a sweet moment, and I'm just, oh, that pain hurt so bad, but it was gone, you know. And then I had, you know, anxiety when it came to the placenta, because y'all know what happened with Lily. The dumbass jerked on it and ripped me, and I hemorrhaged. So my placenta came out perfectly fine, and everything was well. Something different about this hospital than I was used to is you don't stay in the room that you deliver in. So after an hour, after you collect yourself and, you know, feel good, they move you upstairs to the mommy and me room, where it's more relaxed, and it's real sweet, actually. And they have room service that you can get food to your room before 7 p.m. So that's really cool. And we were in the hospital. They wanted to keep me because of the one blood pressure that went bad when I was in labor. They wanted to keep me for 72 hours because of that. So I had him on Wednesday morning at 9:44. We didn't get to go home till fucking Saturday. Saturday afternoon, mind you, because they didn't start my discharge papers until noon. And they just kept trying to find an excuse to keep us. And I said, no, we're going home. I'm tired. I want to go home. And so finally we went home. I mean, the room service was nice, but, and you know, it's just, you're trying to sleep and a nurse is coming in every hour to check her blood pressure, or the nurse is coming in to check him, and it's just like we couldn't really sleep or get any relaxation as a family because, you know, we were getting bothered. So it's just always nice to be able to go home, especially if you know there's nothing wrong. He was perfect. He did have his circumcision, which I don't care what you think about that. If you're going to say something, I don't care. He did get his circ done last Friday. A video on his phone. He did get his circ last Friday, so it's been a week. And he did get his phenectomy, which is his tongue tie. He is tongue tied, which is why he was having a hard time latching on the things. So he did get that done. And I am breastfeeding, or trying to at least. I don't produce very much. He actually tries to latch, unlike Lily. And now that he's had the procedure done on his tongue, it's a little bit easier for him. Sometimes he latches, sometimes he doesn't. Like, if he's, like, really pissed off, he won't latch. I still don't know how much I'm producing because I am insulin resistant. So I try to pump, but I only can pump, like, I pump at least 6 times a day. Like, I try to imitate a newborn feeding. So if he eats every 3 hours, he's getting a bottle, and then I pump. So I act as if he would be feeding. But I'm still only pumping, like, 10 milliliters, if that, every pumping session. And sometimes I'm only pumping 3. So really, I'm not pumping all that much. It takes a full day for me to gain an ounce. Like, I have to just keep adding to the bottle before I finally get an ounce. Bless you. So I definitely don't have a stash or anything. And it's kind of disheartening because, you know, like, there are women who just gave birth a couple of days ago and they already got their milk coming in and they're already pumping. And it's just, I don't have that luxury. My insulin resistance does go against me, but at least he's getting something. He gets that in formula, of course. But at least I tried, you know. I'm not discouraged, really, like I was with Lily. I know that doesn't make me a bad mom. I'm not going to let anyone make me feel bad like I did with her. So it's definitely, you know, different this time. But at least it's something. More than with Lily. Because with Lily, I didn't even get much colostrum. So with him, I'm actually getting milk. So that's pretty cool. It's different. Probably because, you know, it was a natural birth. There was no epidural. There was no magnesium. You know, I didn't have the retained placenta. So I didn't have to worry about any of that, which can hurt your milk as well. So I didn't have any of that going against me, just my insulin resistance. But that is my labor and delivery story. It is crazy as hell, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, aren't you mad about the whole Stadol thing? I'm really pissed off. I got a packet in the mail regarding a survey that I have to do, or they want me to do, regarding my labor and delivery, and I am actually going to report them because baby was fine. Baby was doing well, especially when I asked for it. They just didn't want to do it because hospitals push epidurals, because if you get an epidural, they get a huge check. It's sad to say, but it's true. Because I even asked my hospital, I said, do you guys have nitrous oxide? They said, no, we can't get nitrous oxide because that means it's less money for the anesthesiologist. Okay, what about me? Like, out of all this stuff with scientists and medical researches, why can't they come up with a medicine that mommies can have that won't kill you, that won't go in your back? It just goes right in the IV and you feel fine, but you're not loopy, but you don't feel anything. Like a liquid epidural. Like basically how the epidural works, but going in your IV. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. They need to come out with that because a lot of women have back issues and can't have the damn epidural and are forced to have natural birth like me from a stingy nurse saying, sorry, I changed my mind, you can't have it. And oops, now it's too late. Like, that just was wrong. I mean, I love my son. I'm happy he's here. But I was forced to have a natural birth because of convenience for them. And that just wasn't cool. I wasn't ready for that. I thought I was going to get my IV meds and everything would be copacetic. I didn't know I was going to be forced into a natural birth. So I was not ready. I was not ready at all. It was nice not being confined to the bed like I was with my daughter, but it's like nothing soothed me. Like nothing calmed me down. I was in so much pain. So he was born June 13th, last Wednesday, at 9:44 a.m. He was 6 pounds 9 ounces and 19 inches long. And when we left the hospital, he was 6 pounds 4 ounces because you lose a little bit of weight, 10% of your weight before you leave because your body's adjusting. So, and he had his first pediatrician appointment on Tuesday, and he is 6 pounds 5 ounces. So I am actually losing a lot of weight, probably due to the pumping, because I only gained 4 pounds in pregnancy and I've already lost 27 pounds. So that's intense. I was not expecting that because it's like, how the hell can you lose that much when you only gained 4? But pretty cool. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to continue, you know, walking and, you know, eating right, because when you pump, you have to gain like 600 more calories, I think it is, so that you are getting enough for your milk. And I'm drinking a lot of water and just trying to stay positive, really. Wednesday was my 1 week postpartum. Today's Friday. So that is everything that's been going on. We're just happy to finally be home. It was kind of sad, actually, because we got home Saturday and everyone wanted to see him. So we had to go to some family's houses, and we didn't get home until Saturday evening. And then Sunday was Father's Day, and Jay had to go back to work. So that was really tough because it's like we just got home. He has to go to work, you know, and he only, because we're not married and we're not together, so he doesn't get paternity leave. He has to take FMLA for Nathan, but he can't do anything for me. And so he doesn't even get paid for that. They don't see it as it being important, which is really sad and sucky, especially for Father's Day. So he's probably about to get fussy, and he just ate. But when he makes that sound and his hands are flailing, he's usually about to get fussy. Yeah, Jason's playing the game, so you can probably see it in my glasses, and that's pretty funny. But I'm going to go ahead and step off of here. That is my labor and delivery story. And I will do updates here and there about little Nathan and how he's growing. Excuse me. Whew. And updates about me and what's going on here. Oh. And he will be 2 weeks old next week. I can't believe it. I can't believe he's a week old. Like, that's just insane to me because I feel like I just had him. I feel like I just got out of the hospital. So, but he's really tiny. You say hi. Yeah, he's about to be fussies. Say hi. Oh. He burped. He's actually, he fits preemie clothes. And preemie clothes are still a little bit big on him. He's very tiny. And I thought that was so funny because whenever I would go to my ultrasounds, they're like, oh, he's going to be long. He's going to be tall. Look at his femur. It's long. And I was thinking I was giving birth to this, like, shack, you know. Like, they said he wasn't going to be fat or anything. Like, he was going to be, you know, on time with his weight. But his length was going to be longer than Lily, which he was. She was 18. He was 19. But, I mean, really, he's still a tiny little baby. Like, he can fit preemie clothes. You say hi? I can't. I can just stare at him all day. But we're going to step off of here. And I want to thank you guys for watching my video. And have a nice night. Good night, guys.